Okay. All right, we are live. Okay. Giving folks a second to log in here. We just launched the room to open here.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, welcome. Come on in. I hope everyone's having as beautiful a weather day as we are here in the San Francisco Bay Area today.
Gorgeous.
Feel like we deserve because we had such a crappy winter.
Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung. That's right. That's right. Okay. All right. Well, I know Johanna likes to use the bulk of the hour, so I'm not going to delay here in getting us going. People can just continue to roll in. I'm going to say hello. I'm Stacy Delo. I'm the CEO of Après, and thank you for being here today with us, for learning how to leverage your intuition to lead. When Johanna and I were talking about what this session would look like, we talked about how important it is to be able to tap into that intuition, to know it, to understand it, to learn what it's telling you, and use that as a tool for things like more self-confidence, better decision-making, less stress and anxiety. And these are all really positive things to do for yourself in your life. And you can apply them then at work, in different career settings, as well as in your personal life. So I feel like today is going to be a really valuable learning hour, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you're joining us for the first time, just a quick overview of what Après is. Après is a career resource for women who are answering these big questions about their career or who are returning to the workforce after a career break. And we have these sessions monthly, a couple times a month, and you can use our archive tool to go back and revisit these coaching sessions essentially at any time. So we're really glad to have you here today. And I look forward to this hour with Johanna Beyer, who's our amazing coach. And just in terms of how this is going to work, Johanna likes to ask for sharing. So we'll use the share tool, the chat box, which I'll launch here in a second. There's a Q&A box, which you can use for question and answers. Sometimes we come to you live. If you want to talk out loud, you'll just use the hand icon, and then we will come to you and we'll be able to hear you. We won't be able to see you. Otherwise, you don't need to worry about us seeing or hearing you throughout the session. One thing that Johanna has asked for today is that everyone have pencil and paper. So if you have that nearby, please grab it. Otherwise, take a second to go and scoop some up. So I'm going to let Johanna do a more formal introduction of herself, but I'll kind of be here throughout the hour to be helpful. Okay, over to you.
Thank you so much, Stacy. That was a great introduction and kind of like a warm-up for what we're going to do today, partnering with your intuition. And a little bit about me and how I work with people. So a lot of times people come to me because they're really ready to bring their work to the next level. They're really ready to make a career change. They're really ready to maybe go back into something that's different than what they've done before. And they're tired. You know why they're tired? They're tired of bouncing around the options back and forth, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, in this little tiny analytical pea brain of ours. And I'm sure you guys can all relate. You get an idea. Ooh, that would be an interesting organization to research. And then your inner critic says, yeah, but they never want your skills. And then you go back and forth, and then you end up right where you started. And sometimes my head actually hurts from overthinking and overanalyzing things. And so what I always say when people start working with me or when I'm doing group work is, I love your brains, everybody. But in order for us to really move this needle forward in a brand new way, we have to get out of the over-analytical brain. We have to sink all the way down into our intuitive knowing, into our gut, into our heart, because that's where everything new happens. So today is a deep dive into just understanding what intuition even is. It's ambiguous, it's elusive. Talking about all the benefits that literally will happen in your life once you make partnering with your intuition a priority and bring in some of the skills and tools that I'll teach you, and you probably have some others in your back pocket, but really making it a priority. It's transformative. We're also going to talk about what blocks your intuition, because if it was so easy, I think we'd all be doing a lot more. And then, of course, if anyone's been to my webinars before or taken my classes, I like to talk, but minimally. I like interaction. I like you guys to get into an exercise or two. And then I really, really would love for people to have the courage to raise their hand and actually interact with me. Think of it as medicine for everybody, and that you get a little coaching. Why not? So some rules for our time together is I really want you to follow your gut. This is a gut-oriented webinar. And just get the inner critic out and take a break from the brain. You can go back after this thing is done, believe me. So that is one of the ground rules for today. And also in the sharing, listen and learn from others. So that's why I really encourage participation, because I have really seen people identify and learn when others speak up. Leave your self-critic at the door, and please share again. Please share. If you don't feel like raising your hand, send Stacy a chat and she can read it to me. All right, so let's just dive in. What is intuition? I love this quote by Shakti Gawain, one of my favorite teachers. I have many of her books. Look her up. Fabulous for visioning, for intuition, for purpose. She's amazing. She says intuition is a universal, intelligent life force that exists within everyone and everything. It resides in each of us as deep wisdom and inner knowing. It's something we come into the world with, everybody, and sometimes we forget it's there, but it's in everybody. Some people are like, oh, I'm not very intuitive, or I'm not psychic. Well, it's just because you haven't exercised that muscle. But it's really neat to think that it's a force flowing through you and through everyone. And when you deepen it, you really, really have the ability not only to connect to your wisdom, but to connect to everything around you. So let's go a little deeper with what intuition is. Literally, the definition of intuition is the ability to acquire knowledge without facts, proof, or understanding of how the knowledge was acquired. It's not data. It's not quantifiable. It's not numbers. And so because of that, I think a lot of times people will brush it under the rug or doubt it, or think it's just fleeting, I don't know, weird thing that just happened, but it's actually not. Just because you can't prove it with science or with data or numbers doesn't mean that it's absolutely real. It's very instinctual. You know, intuition is built into our systems to survive. It lives in our gut. You know, and the research that I've done around the gut is it literally has the same neurons as the brain. So we call it our second brain for a reason. And it feels things, it senses things oftentimes before the analytical brain. And that's why it's so awesome to get stronger with your intuitive knowing, because once you start to feel your gut, your body light up, then you can get really curious and identify what was maybe the thought or the feeling or the situation in your external world. Then you can send it up to your brain to do something with. But it's very instinctual, it's very felt in the body. And this is the other thing about intuition. It is not like the inner critic or fear. It's not harsh, authoritative, all or nothing, black or white. It speaks to us very softly. It speaks to us when we have slowed down and created some quiet in our life. It speaks to me in the shower. It speaks to me when I'm driving. It speaks to me when I'm pulling tarot cards in the morning. It speaks to me on hikes. Sometimes it speaks to me when I'm reading or read something and I'll get this intuitive hit that that's something important for me. So people always say, how can you tell the difference, Johanna, between your intuition and your fear? And I always say, just listen to the tone of its voice. It'll give you a clue. And it doesn't mean that intuition doesn't scare you a little bit. How many of you have probably gotten intuitive knowing about a situation or a person? And then your inner critic's like, oh no, you have to stick this one out. We're going to get into these blocks. But it doesn't mean it's like all free and easy. It's just powerful information, and it whispers to you. Intuition is the whisper of the soul, Krishnamurti. It's a whisper of the soul. And because of it, I think it's very, very wise. It's very, very old. And it's very, very all-knowing. It's a huge, powerful force that when you're confused, You don't know what direction to go, get quiet. And we're going to do some practices with this. So why is it so important to connect with your intuition? There's so many benefits. I feel like it's as important as exercise or taking your vitamins or, having a good eating habit. I love this quote. Ideas pull the trigger, but intuition loads the gun. Ideas pull the trigger, but intuition loads the gun. This is your pipeline of information. Do not think for a second it's going to come from this. It comes from here. So what happens when you connect with your intuition? Well, first of all, it gets you out of your own overanalyzing mind and into your body where the information resides. I actually feel like it's like going on vacation because I will go into amnesia all the time thinking that I'm going to solve a problem with the ping pong back and forth. And I get tired and cranky and irritable. And then I remember, oh, that's not where it comes from. Close my eyes, take a deep breath, go into my body, and instantly I feel more centered. And I'm like, oh God, this is a way better feeling than what I was doing before. So it just is a vacation from overthinking. When you connect with your intuition, getting decisive becomes so much more easy and fun because you are building a really trustworthy relationship with your intuition. So there's nothing wrong with giving a decision some time. But how many of you ask everyone around you for all their opinions when it comes to a big decision in your life? That is, it's okay for one or two people, but I really think that cuts your intuitive knowing. You can ask a friend, they give you the answer you don't want, and you're like, that's not what I want to do. You know what to do. So the more you strengthen your intuition, the more comfortable and excited you get to make big decisions in your life from a place of, you know what, I'm going for it. And it's going to, put you on a path. It's going to twist and turn. But that feeling of confusion, I don't feel so confused a lot, you guys. I confused for a bit of time, but then when I really go down and sink in and do these exercises, I'm not confused anymore. This is what I love about intuition. It reclaims your power. So, how many people, the doctor walks in with the white lab coat and all of a sudden you give all your power over to that person. I think that connecting with your intuition allows you to partner with experts, teachers, doctors, gurus, whatever, in a much more balanced way. They have beautiful information, but at the end of the day, you're the one making the decision. And it makes you feel like, you know what, I'm not going along for the ride just because they are the so-called expert. I'm co-creating with them. I'm a partner in this relationship. And so, getting involved with too much cultish stuff or a teacher that wants you to really, really dive in and lose some of your other parts of your life, no way. No way. You can really be in the driver's seat with that. I love the magic and synchronicity that happens on a daily basis for me because I'm so, so connected to intuition. I'm always eyes open, looking for signs and symbols that come into my life to show me which direction to go. I'm very, very partnered with a bigger force that I feel helps me co-create in the world. And I feel like the less you're in here, the more you're in your intuition. You're going to be saying, Johanna, I had the weirdest thing happen to me. This phone rang and the person that I was thinking about called, or, oh my God, this opportunity I was thinking about happened, or I really wanted to go on this trip and then I saw a special, from Alaska Airlines and it's the price that I can afford. Just get prepared for the magic to turn up big time. And then this is the deal with your health, is your intuition really, really wants to be listened to because it has massive information for directions you should go in your life. And when we override it and overanalyze it and don't follow it, a lot of things can happen. We get anxious to the point of needing medication, depressed, blocked. I think it works against our immune system. You'll find yourself getting sick more often. So when you surrender to your intuitive knowing and build strength with it, I think overall, the signals it sends to your brain and your immune system is much healthier than when you're in a constant battle between your head and your heart. And that's really what it is. Your head has a lot of information, but so does your heart. So before making decisions, let's keep those two aligned. If your head's always in charge and your heart gets put in the corner, it can really, really have negative impact on your health. So those are some really beautiful benefits of partnering with intuition. I hope you're kind of like, it's kind of whetting your appetite. Like, why wouldn't you want to get stronger with your intuitive knowing? So we can't talk about all the benefits until we talk about what blocks intuition. So of course, I mean, we aren't taught in school to think with our gut. We're taught in school to think from our shoulders up. Analytical skills, which are so important, but we don't have classes in mindfulness and meditation and checking in with your intuition and what does that mean and how do you express it in the world. There's really no training as a child to do that. I try and do it with my kids, but sometimes they think I'm just like, oh, whatever, mom. So now is the time to start your training. Why not? If you didn't get it in elementary, junior high, high school, college, we can do it now. The other thing that really blocks intuition is always that doing what's expected, the rules, being the good girl. You have a huge hit. You want to stay home. You don't want to go to that party, but then you're feeling, oh, I'm going to disappoint these people. So you go anyway, and it's a disaster. So it's definitely a spiritual journey to trust your intuition and back it up with action, because it does mean that you're going to have to break some rules. You're going to have to disappoint some people, and you might have to break some old patterns of pleasing or being the good girl. But what's on the other side is so powerful, and I think people adjust quite beautifully. It's not as big of a deal as our inner critic says. And again, the experts, they tell us what to do. You have a feeling, they're like, that's not okay. So it's always that training of the experts know best, not me. And that can really, really block your intuitive knowing. Really, really block it. I remember when my son, Charlie, my first son was born, he had this thing, he was tongue-tied. His frenulum went to the tip of his tongue, so he couldn't nurse, and it was really hard. And I went to the first doctor, and he's like, we have to do anesthesia. It's going to be a 2-hour procedure, this and that. And I got from my feet to my head this humongous intuitive no. But he was the doctor everyone sent me to. I said, no, thank you. Got in the elevator. I told my mom, we're never working with that doctor. I mean, it was that big. Ended up finding another doctor. It was the simplest procedure, 2 seconds, cut the frenulum. Charlie didn't even cry. But I could have blocked my intuition at that moment because he was the expert. I'm so happy that I did not do that. So those are some things that can block your intuition. It'd be kind of interesting after this class is over to think of other times when you've had an intuitive knowing. A lot of times in my journeys with people, parents, you wanted to be an art major in college and your dad said, absolutely no way, you have to be in business. We get cut from our intuitive knowing all the time as young people. And it's our job to repair that connection. How many times in your past did you want to do something, but an expert or a parent or a friend pressured you to do a different path because they thought it was more credible? Those are very traumatic experiences with your intuitive knowing. They cut you, and then you feel disconnected. So now it's time to build it back up. So now let's get into how do we build this beautiful intuitive knowing that we've all been cut from because of societal conditioning and pressure. The most important thing, you guys, you can do to increase your intuitive knowing is to get connected to your emotions every single day. And I know you guys are thinking, oh God, that's going to be a mess. That's what I thought. I mean, I am a doer. I have crap to do every day. I am on a mission. I do more than most people do in a week. I don't have time to be messy, to feel my emotions. But I realized that that was not serving me. That my emotions actually had incredible information for me on how to lead my day. And so this being versus doing. Being is not sitting on a mountaintop, closing your eyes and meditating all day. Being is checking in with how you actually feel authentically the start of your day. Anxious, sad, excited, whatever it is. Taking a deep breath, acknowledging it, and then asking, how do I actually honor this place in myself throughout my day, rather than shoving it to the side, cutting it off, saying I have no time for that, and then just doing. So you can be incredibly productive and active from a being state. It's just you're more aligned with your emotions and your intuition. Doing is not giving a crap with how you feel and just skipping to your to-do list. How many of you do that? I don't care that I'm feeling tired today. I don't care that I feel a little sad. I have 50 things on my to-do list and I just need to do it. It's exhausting. So what I've experimented with is checking in with my emotions and my intuition, honoring it more, and guess what? I'm just as productive. I get things done, but in a different order, and I'm happier at the end of the day. So just know that being emotional, checking in with your emotions, your intuition lies right underneath it, is actually going to make you more productive and more authentic each day. We'll talk about how you can connect with your emotions each day. But don't think you're going to be on a mountaintop. Morning ritual. This is how I connect with my being side. I love to meditate every morning. I only do it for 10 minutes. I use Headspace. I pull cards. I love tarot cards. I love any kinds of cards that give you an inspirational message. It's my turn to just tune in, see what's up for myself that day, and recognize that I'm in the mix. It's not just about everybody else. How do I want to show up? So I would greatly encourage you, if you don't already have a morning ritual, to think of what could you do for 10 minutes each day that grounds you and centers you. If you want to get the kids off to school and check your emails first, great. That's what I do. Or if you want to do it right when you wake up, but it's a game changer. My teacher, Angeles Arian, said if you create a morning ritual for 10 minutes a day and do it every day, your life will dramatically change. Dramatically change. I believe it because it's changed me. This is the other thing to increase your intuition. Talk to it. Be a crazy person. I talk to my intuition all the time. I acknowledge it. I celebrate it. I ask it, what do you want to do? What apple do you want to pick from that big pile of apples? What do you feel like eating for dinner? Do you want to work with that client? No. Yes. I am constantly in dialogue with my intuition every day. Celebrate it. I feel like it's like a child. The more you pay attention to it, the more it shows up for you. Same with your intuition. If you ignore it, it gets all dusty and crusty and doesn't work. If you acknowledge it each day, it sparkles up. And then experiment with taking action off the gut information you get. Even if you don't know where it's leading, guys, I do it all the time. I have no idea why I'm doing this, but I'm doing it. I'm signing up for this class, or I'm booking this trip, or I'm reaching out to this friend. It's so fun. That's where the magic and synchronicity comes in. And then the last thing to increase intuition is on a daily basis, you have to clear out the low vibration emotions, the anger. So if you feel anger, that's great. But if you're in a loop about that person, what they didn't do for you, what they didn't give you, it's like you create an ironclad system around your energy and nothing new can come in. Intuition goes to sleep. So if you're really, really resentful and really blaming others or in a judgmental state, that's fine. But just know you're going to miss out on your intuition. So that's enough for me to shift, to either forgive that person, move them out of my space, see how I'm owning the situation. But just know there's a cost or toll to being really, really angry and resentful. All right. Okay. Let's get to work, everybody. Let's get to work. So I want to give you 2 exercises that I use all the time for a quick gut check with my intuition when I'm making decisions, okay? And I am actually going to ask for someone to raise their hands after each one of these. Because again, the sharing really, really helps me anchor into where you're at, and it's medicine for everybody. So the very first thing I want you to do is I want you to think of something that you are maybe deciding in your life right now. It could be big or small. It's like, it could be, do I want to do this project? Do I not want to do this project? Do I want to hang out with this person? Do I not want to hang out with this person? Do I want to buy this dress? Do I not? You know, like, I'm going to give you a minute just to think about something you've been contemplating or thinking about. Okay, I'm going to give you like 30 seconds. Just close your eyes and just think of a situation that you can test out. All right, I hope everybody has just something that they can use and experiment with. I have mine. the direction with my business come the fall. All right, so what I want you to do is handcuffs on is meaning that you're imprisoned, it's constricted, it's tight. Handcuffs off is liberated, free, excited. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to put that decision, that thing you're trying to decide on, right in front of you in your mind's eye. When I count to 3, I'm going to ask you, does it feel like handcuffs on or handcuffs off? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. I would love for someone just to raise their hand and tell us what they were deciding on and what they got, what their gut was, handcuffs on or handcuffs off. Very short share, just someone raise their hand and let us know what happened. Again, courage.
Okay, we've got Camille and Tamara. So I'm coming to Camille first.
All right, Camille, thank you so much for raising your hand. Unmute yourself. Awesome. Camille?
Yes.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
So nice to have you.
Thanks.
Yay. So what was the thing you put in your mind's eye? What was the decision you wanted information on?
This is something I think about every day, and it's switching careers. I've been in a very traditional corporate role for the majority of my life. That's about 20 years of working experience. And I'm done with it. It does not speak to me. It doesn't resonate who I am inside. And so that's what I focused on. And it was definitely a freeing feeling.
So the decision was, should I stay or should I leave, basically?
Right.
And it was instantaneously, if you think about leaving, it's like handcuffs off.
Yeah, liberating. Yeah.
Oh my God. And I bet your analytical brain is having a freaking tantrum right now about this.
Yes, it is. It is. Yes.
And has it been tiring bouncing this decision back and forth in your brain for so long?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can see it in your physical being, you know. Just, I can recognize that in other people too. Like they're not aligned. Their life and who they are is not aligned because I see it in myself.
Yes.
So yes.
So Camille, it's clear. Your intuition is so excited it's getting the microphone. And now it's about aligning your head and your heart to really start brainstorming some new directions and trust. Just trust. It's reaching out to people, it's researching, it's clearing out the fear, but go for it.
Thank you. I will.
Awesome. Thank you. So did we have one more person, or should we just, maybe that person can save their share for the next test? Thanks, Stacy.
Yes.
All right, great.
Giving their share. They took their
Okay,
hand.
great.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so this is the second one I love. It's called the light up test. And I sometimes use this for it can be for any decision, but sometimes when I'm confused is even to what to wear. Is it this shirt or this shirt? Or is it, what do I feel like eating? Is it this salad or this salad? Like I'm going back and forth. I don't know what it is. I do the light up test. So what we're going to do is you're going to think of another thing that you are trying to make a decision around. You can also double test your first thing if you don't want to create a new thing. But if there's a new thing that you just wanted some information on, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think about it, and then I'll give you the next direction. So just think about another piece of your life you want guidance on. Okay, great. So what I'm going to have you do is everyone's going to close their eyes again, and they're going to make you're going to put the decision as 2 images in your mind's eye. I call it your mental screen. So if the thing is actually a thing, you can put the 2 things that compare to each other up there. But if it's more of like a big decision, sometimes I make a symbol. Like staying at work looks like a box, and leaving work looks like a heart, and then you can make a symbol for it. But we're going to close our eyes. We're going to put the 2 images on our mental screen, and I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to ask you 1, 2, 3, what one lights up? Okay? Everybody close your eyes. All right, great. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So I was choosing between an outfit that I'm going to use for a big facilitation next week, and I got my information. That's very superficial, but I have been struggling with it. So can someone share what they put in their mental screen and what one lit up?
Anyone want to share?
Anyone want to share? Medicine for us all? Okay. You know what, I'll share then what I did is I'm facilitating a group next week that I have had many interactions with, so I feel comfortable. And when I'm thinking about what I want to wear, I think I've been moving into like getting more risk-taking with kind of my fashion expression and getting less conventional with what I wear. And so there's this outfit I really want to wear, but it's sleeveless and it's a little funky, and I have this other perfect outfit that's much more facilitation-like. So I put the two on my mental screen, and instantly the sassy one lit up. So I'm going to wear it. And I just feel like it's not just the outfit for me, but it's my intuition saying it's okay to express yourself in a different way. You know, move out of your comfort zone with that. So that's the example that came up for me. All right. Okay, so these are 2 exercises that you can use all the time. I use them in my coaching. Handcuffs off, handcuffs on. It's the best. All right, so this is the second exercise. So this is going to be a simple guided visualization that you can use all the time as well. And it's going to require a little bit of journaling. So have your journals out, or if you type on your computer, have that ready. But the very first thing right now is I want you to think about a very important part of your life you need guidance on right now. It can be your work, it can be a decision, it can be relationship, it can be where you live, it can be health. It's just like, I need guidance around my home. I need guidance with my career. I need guidance with my husband. I need guidance with my children. I'm going to give you 30 seconds just to think about what area do you really want some beautiful guidance with? Okay? Just think. It could be a big event coming up in your life. Okay. So now that you have the area that you're going to focus on, it's very important, I think, to just really get centered in, that's the area I really want wisdom with. I'm going to ask for all of you to get comfortable in your seats, and we're going to close our eyes. And let's just take some nice, deep cleansing breaths in and out. Feel your heartbeat coming down. Feel your nervous system relaxing. And I want you to imagine that you are in your head right now, like it's a room in a house. You're in it. The lights are fully blasted on. And you are going to leave this room, and you're going to turn the lights off in your head. You're going to turn them off. And you have the door open. You look back in that room. It's pitch black. And you're going to gently close the door. And I want you to now walk down the hallway in your beautiful home, beautiful mental home. And I want you to go into your heart and your gut. It's beautiful rooms. And I want you to open the doors, and I want you to turn the lights on. Illuminate those rooms. This is where your intuition lives. This is where the wisdom is. This is where the new answers are. And this room is delicious. It's cozy. It's inviting. It's warm. With each breath, sink more into that room. Take a seat. Is there a couch? Is there a chair? Is there a fireplace? And now I want you to ask your intuition, what's most important for me to know? What's most important for me to know? What's most important for me to know? Let any words, images, messages come. I'm going to give you some silence. You ask it over and over again. Just let whatever comes up, comes up. If you've gotten the information, you can wiggle your fingers and toes, and I want you to write it down. I want you to write down every word it said. If there was an image, if there was a message, write it down. Take it in. It's powerful. And when someone feels ready, I would love someone to share, to speak. We can't see your video, we can only hear your voice, but I would love to hear the information that you received. I really want to wait to have someone raise their hand because this is so powerful to hear.
Okay, I'm coming to Jordan. Jordan, I have to promote you to be a panelist. Unless you want us to see your video, turn it off because you've got, it's complicated. Okay, we can hear you. Okay.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
Thank you so much for raising your hand. I'm so excited to hear what came to you. What was the area of life you needed guidance on?
Just work. Right now, my husband and I are at a crossroads. We've both been doing freelance kind of contract work for a long time, and it's seeming like one of us needs to get a full-time job.
Yes.
And I don't think either one of us wants to be the person to do it.
Yeah.
So it's not causing a lot of tension. It's just causing a lot of questioning and anxiety and what job should I be applying for? Should I just apply for everything? Like, is it just a race to see who gets the first job? Who gets the first job, and that's the person who's going. And so in this activity, when I came into my heart, it was this beautiful sunlit meadow with flowers and no bugs and mountains and a lake. And it was just so peaceful. And the message that came to me was, it's not about the job. It's about knowing that I and my family will always have what we need, that the job is not the solution, that peace is the solution.
Wow. Does that make you feel emotional?
It does.
That makes me feel emotional. Wow, what a different piece of information than that over-analyzing mind. Is it him? Is it me? Is it the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What do you think? How do you want to let that settle in? How do you just want to let that settle in, Jordan?
I think I just want to, every time I'm confronted with a new job that's posted, or like, oh, maybe I should try to do this, or maybe I should work more here and there, or maybe I should send my husband this job, is just to revisit that thought and just come to that place of understanding and peace before moving forward.
Yes, and it takes a whole layer of survival out of it. Like, we will be fine, we will figure this out. That peace, that centeredness, which, by the way, is where you connect with your intuition more when you're centered out of your head, and it allows you to make much better decisions. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Put that up so you can see it every day. All right, great. I would love to hear from one more person if that's possible.
Let's see. I'm getting some nice comments here in the chat. The chat.
Really? Maybe you can read those.
Let me take a look at those. Yeah, Johanna, we had a question in the Q&A area that someone said she's having trouble thinking of the things she wants guidance on, and maybe there's some advice for that. Sometimes it can feel like there's so many things.
I know. I feel like when I don't know what to ask, I just ask this. What's most important for me to know right now? What's most important for me to know right now? Doesn't have to be in a specific area of my life. It's just overall guidance. And that is just as profound. So if you're ever at a loss for what the question is, just ask that one and you'll get so much powerful guidance.
Can you say that again? Repeat that question. I'm going to write that down.
What is most important for me to know right now?
Okay.
Great.
So Karen, I don't know if that helps. Hopefully that helps.
Yep.
Okay.
Any other comments or a person raising their hand before we move on?
I think we're good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you guys, this is something you can do every morning, part of your morning ritual. What do I need to know today? Close your eyes, get into your heart, illuminate that room, and you will hear words, you will hear guidance, you will hear direction. If you're really in a crisis mode and you don't know what to do, you can do this. It takes 1 to 2 minutes. Go down, ask for guidance, come back up. You're already changed. You have a new idea. Then you can send it to your brain, to trigger off. So just remember, don't go in amnesia. It's always with you. It's a tool you can always use. Okay, so the last exercise I want you guys to do is, this is one of my favorite things. It's called a sigil, and it's kind of strange. It's a little out there, but I think they're really powerful because when you set intention, sometimes it's really neat to create a piece of art or a symbol that holds that intention that you're ready for in your life. And this is what a sigil is. So a sigil is an inscribed or painted symbol considered to have magical powers. It's very, 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 very old. And the way we're going to create our sigils right now is, I want you to get a piece of paper. So you need to have a piece of paper by you. And it doesn't have to be too big, just like a journal size piece of paper. And the first thing at the top of the page is, I want you to write one phrase down that you're really ready to bring into your life. So I've always been disconnected from my feelings because I'm a helper. I help everyone else. I'm always about what does everyone else need. And so for this workshop, I thought, what I want more of in my life right now is, I will tune in and feel my feelings. So I want you to write a simple statement, not too long, but using the will. I will heal my relationship with my son. I will leave my corporate job. I will bring in new ideas with my work. I will take a painting class. Whatever you really are desiring right now, please write it down in a statement. And I'm going to give you 30 seconds. And make it just one sentence because we have to do some stuff with this. Okay, so hopefully everybody has their one phrase down, their powerful, desired intention that they're ready to bring into their life. First thing I want you to do is I want you to cross off all the vowels. So just put an X through all the vowels. We want to get rid of all the vowels. Just scratch them out. Good. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to get rid of any repetitive consonants. So I only want one of each consonant left in your phrase. So you can see will has 2 L's, cross off one of the L's. You only want 1 L remaining in your entire phrase. So cross off any repetitive consonants. Great. Now this is the part where we're going to create your own unique symbol with your phrase. You're going to turn it into a magical, powerful symbol. So these are examples of what sigils look like. Can you see that first one, everybody? There's a B, there's a C, there's an L. What you're going to do is with any of the remaining letters that you have in your phrase, you're going to create a symbol that just connects the letters like this. So it doesn't have to be beautiful. Just write the first letter and then hook another letter onto it and hook another letter onto it and hook another letter onto it so that it's just one cohesive symbol using the remaining letters in your phrase. And use these as just kind of a visual to guide you. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to link your letters together. So what I want to tell you about these symbols is they're no joke. They're powerful. You're going to draw a big old circle around your symbol and you're going to rip it out. I don't want you to cut it with scissors. I want you to literally rip around the circle so you have a circle with your symbol in it. You're going to put this sigil of yours somewhere you can see it every day. If you have an altar at home or just your dresser drawer in your bedroom or somewhere on a windowsill in your kitchen, I want you to look at it every day and I want you to juice it up. I want you to send your energy towards it. I want you to send your belief to it. I want you to send your heart into it, your intuition into it. And in 15 days from now, I want you to release it, rip it up, throw it into the wind. You can put it in the fireplace, but you need to release it out into the universe. I've done many of these sigils and they happen. So I know this is kind of weird. This is kind of out there for like the normal webinars I do, but I'm telling you, this is an amazing way to take your intuition into a physical form that manifests. So I don't need anyone to raise their hand to actually speak, but what I would love is if you could send your phrases to Stacy right now. I want her to read them out to the group. I want them to read them out to the group. So type the phrase you wrote to Stacy. And then Stacy, you can just read them.
Okay. So, and that's, yeah, use the chat area. Okay, great. Here they are. Here's the first one. I will believe in my worth and attract that into every area of my life.
Love.
Yay. I will become more confident in myself. Hooray. I will feel more purpose fulfilled. Yes. I will take care of myself. Great.
Beautiful.
I will feel peace in times of stress.
Yes.
I will bring health and fitness back into my life.
You go, girl.
I will find my way back to meaningful and joyous work. Definitely. Another one, I will experience more joy in my life and have a beautiful, joyous career. And I will find my purpose and passion and turn that into my career.
Oh my God. Aren't they powerful?
Yes.
And now they're in physical form?
Yeah, that's very cool.
So this is something, again, everything I'm teaching you guys today, you can do multiple sigils. If you start to have a dream, it can be as specific as like, I want this job that I'm interviewing for, to these beautiful ones you shared that are more like joy-filled and purpose-filled. Whatever you want, you can write the phrase down, you can cross out the vowels, the repetitive consonants, and you make your sigil, you make your symbol. I do them all the time. My kids are like, Mom, what the heck is on, what is that? And I'm like, it's a magical symbol. They're so used to me now. They just like, okay. But this is something you can do along with all the other exercises, from handcuffs on to handcuffs off, to light up in your screen, to just taking a minute to get out of your head and into your heart and ask, what do I need to know right now about this situation? What do I need to know right now about this situation? And my biggest wish for you all is that you create a morning ritual every day where you connect with your intuitive knowing, and you feel your feelings and you let them drive your day a little bit more than you have, and that you trust yourself more than any other expert in the world. And just know that, you know, if you have any questions or you have any thoughts, or you have an intuitive moment of just magic, send them to me. My email is johannabeyer@gmail.com. I don't think I have my information here, but I think on Après, all my information's there. But I thank you all for being with me today, for going along with this crazy ride of getting in touch with your intuition. And I'm excited for you all. And just, it's a blessing for me to do this work. Thank you so, so much.
All great lessons. Thanks, Johanna, very much. Yes, you can follow up with Johanna on Après, and also definitely reach out to us if we can help with any of these next steps. We are looking into the summer. It's already, I can't believe that we've got the end of spring here and then it's going to be summer. So it's a busy time, and this is a great time to take advantage of the summer to think through a lot of these things so that you can be ready for the fall. So thanks everyone for joining us today, and there'll be a recording of this, so you're welcome to watch it again if you want to rethink and work on your sigils. But good luck with all of it, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks,
everybody. Have a great, great day.
Bye.
Bye.